I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs. Take one great guest, add their idea for dinner, and voila! Today, a simple dish with a spicy twist as we make jerk chicken with a side of chorizo dirty rice. Joining me to share his recipe for dinner tonight is Chef Rob Rinesmith. He's been cooking professionally since he was a teenager and now runs Wild Child in St. Pete. And this recipe is not only from your menu, but was inspired by a really special vacation. And it's so great to have you in the kitchen, first and foremost.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. So jerk chicken is a personal favorite of mine because on my honeymoon, me and my wife's honeymoon, we were in Belize.
And this is the two of you here in this picture.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And one of the best meals I've had in my entire life was this little Jamaican, basically like a jerk chicken hut, where it's just a guy smoking jerk chicken over palmetto with simple like rice and butter cabbage. And it was amazing. So this is my spin on that.
From Jamaica, as you were saying. Basically means adding just a dry rub or a marinade to the meat or a fish. And we're doing this with chicken today.
Yep, we're gonna do chicken thighs. They are easy to work with and like very economical. You know, it's cheap for cooking at home.
Now these chicken thighs have the skin on.
Yep.
And have the bone, but you're gonna show us how to debone them.
Yep. So we're doing bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs.
All right.
And what I do here is I kind of just follow along this main bone, and just use like these little slicing motions like that. You don't want to dig in there too deep. Just follow along. And then once you get it loosened up, you kind of use your fingers, just go right underneath of it, and then there you go, it comes right out.
Now what could you do with the bones afterwards?
So what's really cool about this, if you do whole chickens or you do like this, the chicken thighs, if you want to go to that next level, save your bones and you can make a really nice, rich, delicious stock. Use that for your chorizo rice, use it for the cabbage, if you want to make chicken soup at home, anything. So.
And now, do you find cost savings by doing it this way too?
Oh yeah. The less work that the store, the butcher has to do, the cheaper it is for you. So we have our jerk paste here.
What's a jerk paste? What's in it? Tell us a little bit more. What's it taste like even?
So basically it's a paste made from Scotch bonnet chilies.
Okay.
Also scallions, ginger, allspice, and those are the main ingredients. And then a little fresh thyme, but you can get this brand Walker's Wood at any supermarket. Just kind of marinate it, get it all in there so it's all over, coast to coast. So you want this to sit at least for like 2 to 4 hours, really.
Okay, 2 to 4 hours, and that's just gonna go inside our refrigerator then?
Yep, and let it sit in the fridge and kind of hang out. Let it do its thing and build those flavors.
Awesome. To make this meal for your dinner, the full recipe with all the ingredients you need and the directions for the chicken and all the sides are on our website, dinnerdeeas.com. Just scan the QR code in the corner of the screen using the camera app on your phone, and a link will pop up. Now, chicken sounds like it's being marinated.
Yep.
Let's talk about sides next.
While the chicken's hanging out, you do that earlier in the day, we're gonna start our chorizo dirty rice.
Okay.
So throw it in the pan, you get a nice medium to high heat pot going.
I love working with chorizo. Is this a sausage that you like as well? Like a lot? Is this something that you're having quite a bit?
I love all pork sausages, especially chorizo, because it's got the nice heat to it, lots of flavor going on. It just makes simple things such as rice, or any kind of vegetable, or even in sauces, really flavors pop.
All right, and so we're just gonna let this brown for a little bit.
Let this brown.
Okay.
And meanwhile, we can get our cabbage going.
We got a second side over here as well. We got the cabbage.
So we have a good amount of butter going on. So this is braised. So the braising technique is you start off with dry heat, get caramelization, and then you finish with submerged or partially submerged in liquid. And this liquid is gonna be the butter and chicken stock. So I kind of let this foam up, so you want it like a little brown to build some more flavor. Season it with salt, because you kind of want to sweat it out. And the salt helps, obviously, season it, but also pull out some of that water, which is going to help in the braising.
Totally.
In the meantime, this chorizo is looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and strain off some of this fat.
Okay. Here.
So you want to keep some of the fat, because that's what we're going to use to sweat the vegetable, right?
Perfect.
So there's a little residual fat in this pot right there. And actually, it's not too fatty, so we're good.
All right. And it works for us then.
Yeah.
We're clean eating today.
Yeah, right. We'll do a little extra oil in there, just in case.
Okay.
So with this is not traditional Jamaican dish. This is more taking flavors from New Orleans and taking the Holy Trinity to do this dirty rice. We got onion,
Okay.
celery, and some poblano pepper.
Nice.
Season with salt.
You know what I like is that you could have gone all in and just been, hey, it is going to be the Jamaican way of doing this. But no. Like, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Cooking allows you the opportunity to just spice things up your own way.
At the restaurant, there's no, we don't have any rules. Like, everything has to make sense and taste good, but that's really the only rule we have is make it delicious.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Let me slide this up this side.
So, yeah, season as we go, salt and pepper. Mm-hmm. We can go ahead and add that chorizo back in there.
Okay. The cooked chorizo.
Let it cook all together. Do a little garlic in here too.
Okay.
It's a little trick I like to do for garlic. Instead of trying to slice it, chop it, I always just love using the microplane.
See, that's the
Just
thing.
doing
A
grated
microplane
garlic.
is one of those tools that we keep hearing often that people at home should be having. Like,
Yep.
it's one of these things. You can get these on Amazon for like $10.
Yeah, it's great for like grating cheese, nutmeg, like I said, garlic. I always like to use it for, and it saves you the step of
100%.
Slicing and chopping stuff.
And they say, like, it's kind of like that wives' tale too. Like, with it being that fine, you actually get more of just the oils out of it
you
versus
get-
so it
exactly.
actually has that better concentration. So, folks, there's a purpose behind it.
Yeah, it's just a cool little trick for the house, Always keep a microplane on hand. Cool, got this guy working.
How's that cabbage coming along? Look at that.
Cabbage is looking good. So as you can see, like, butter's starting to brown a little bit.
Yep.
Cabbage is wilting.
So you're gonna have a beautiful flavor from that browning of the butter. You're going to be having a beautiful searing and just have a little bit of color coming off of that. Okay.
So now we're adding turmeric. So turmeric it's in the ginger family. It's a root, but it has more of like a earthy, bitter flavor to it than ginger. But what it's mainly known for is that bright yellow color that makes it pop.
So now we're even gonna get a little bit more color here.
Yeah. And then we're gonna add a little.
Oh, these smells
Chicken
right now
stock.
are coming together.
A little chicken stock. And just
that.
for good measure, since it's butter braised cabbage,
Gotta put a little
more butter.
A little bit more. All right. I love it.
Yeah, and this guy just kind of let it do its thing and let all those flavors meld together and get that cabbage. You want it soft, but also have a little texture to it, so it's not completely just mush.
Perfect.
Cool.
Look at that.
This is ready to go. The veg is looking nice. You can go ahead and add that rice.
All right.
Always season as
Now
we
I
go.
gotta ask, rice rinser or you just go straight in? Just
It depends. I mean, in the restaurant, if I have time, rinse because you want to get that excess starch off. When I'm at home and I'm trying to get, trying to make dinner for everybody, clean up at the same time.
yeah,
I'm like, you know what?
homework kind of getting done. Like, yeah, exactly. You
I'm
gotta,
like,
you gotta cut a corner somewhere.
There's enough
That kind
going
of has
on.
to happen.
But really, this type of rice too, like this is almost like a peel-off method.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if there's that extra starch. You don't want it to be overcooked and too starchy, but just the method that we're doing it doesn't honestly really matter that much.
Perfect.
Cool. Bring that up, and then there we are.
There we
Let that
are.
cook.
Well, our sides simmer. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, a glorious glaze we'll show you how to make from scratch ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. Today we're cooking with some Caribbean flair as we make jerk chicken with a side of chorizo dirty rice and butter braised cabbage, all courtesy of our guest Chef Rob Rinesmith from Wild Child in St. Pete. Before the break, we started our dirty rice by browning chorizo, then adding onion, pepper, celery, garlic, then our jasmine rice, and just a little bit of some chicken stock. And in the separate pan, we sauteed our cabbage with turmeric, salt, added some chicken stock, and even a little bit more butter, and let that simmer. And before all of that even happened, we deboned our chicken thighs and marinated them with a Jamaican jerk paste. And we have some that we already brought out of the refrigerator that are ready to cook.
Yep. So we're gonna season these with a little bit of neutral oil. This is canola oil, just so it prevent sticking. So traditionally, like I said, you're gonna cook over open flame, and even if you have the time, you can light the Weber up, cook on your grill, whatever you have, and get that more smoky flavor. But with jerk chicken, you don't want to do an intense heat. If it's too high, it's gonna burn.
Yeah.
So you're actually going for a low to low medium heat.
Okay.
So we're gonna do skin side down, because you want the skin to the fat to render before it burns.
Okay.
And all these spices in there too it'll burn actually faster.
Yeah.
So.
And you don't, and this is not going to smoke up the house if you do it with a little bit low.
Yeah. If you're not blasting it, you won't smoke it up as much. So cool. We'll get this guy going. It's kind of adjust the heat.
How long will that take then?
I would say honestly, it's probably about a good 18 to 22 minutes. Once
Okay.
you get the skin rendered and that fat going, you want to keep that fat too, because once you flip the chicken thighs, it's going to cook in that. So you have all the beautiful chicken fat and all the spices that are rendering off in that, just cooking into the chicken. Have like a really super flavorful, juicy chicken thigh at the end.
Oh, I can't wait. And for Chef Rob's recipes for everything he's making today, and here's the thing, you're totally allowed to just make the chicken or just the rice, or if you're that inclined, just the cabbage. Whatever your preference it is, they're all waiting for you at dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code to grab them. So we're just gonna let this be for a little bit.
So then we're making a tamarind glaze to go with chicken.
Lovely.
Totally optional, but I love adding glazes to roasted and cooked meats, especially if they're a little spicier, because you're gonna add some sweet and acidic notes. So you have like this nice vinegar and sweet and sour from the tamarind. So we're doing tamarind paste.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a little tamarind paste, some sherry vinegar, and that's gonna be the sour aspect to it. A little mirin, some rice cooking wine, brown sugar to balance out the sourness with some sweetness. So with the glaze, you want a good amount of sugar to give it that syrup-like consistency.
Now the sugars, I'm sure people have in the pantry, but the mirin, the tamarind paste, like that stuff that doesn't happen and come often. Is it easy to find in the grocery store?
Yeah, you can definitely find it, and it's also interchangeable. Like for this instance, you want the tamarind paste because that's tamarind glaze. But any sugar, you want to use white granulated sugar, cool. If you have red wine vinegar, fine. There's no, like I said, there's no rules. It'll all work out.
It'll all work out in the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we're also going to do a little ginger and garlic. You have a nice knob of fresh ginger. The best method to peel this, it's not a peeler, you have to cut around it. Just grab a regular spoon and just kind of use it like a peeler, and you can get into all those grooves and nooks and crannies in there, and it comes right off. And once again, we're going to use this microplane, so I love having that microplane around.
It's so versatile.
Yeah, so instead of mincing it up, just take this right over the glaze. And this helps, soften it too, and you get like nice small pieces of ginger, so that you're not gonna have huge chunks as it cooks down. A little tap. Same thing with the garlic. Cool. And this we're gonna bring to a boil and just reduce it to about half until it's like a syrup-like consistency.
Love it. Well, our chicken crisp up, we're taking a break, and when we come back, how to make an avocado salsa and bring all this together for a delicious dinner dia. Welcome back to Dinner Dias, where our idea for dinner for you today is jerk chicken with chorizo dirty rice and butter braised Savoy cabbage. Here to show us how to make it is Chef Rob Rinesmith from Wild Child in St. Pete, where this is a big hit on the menu. And before the break, we took our chicken, we marinated it in a jerk seasoning and started grilling it low and slow. When we made a glaze from scratch using sherry vinegar, brown sugar, mirin, tamarind paste, garlic, and ginger. But that's not just it, right?
Nope. So once that glaze is where we want it, you can see it's nice and syrup-like consistency, nice and sticky. Gets good, as we call it, nappe, where it coats the back of a spoon. So we're gonna finish it with some fresh citrus juice. So
I love it.
Squeeze a lime, add that nice pop, and then some orange juice as well.
Beautiful.
Give that a quick stir.
Got you here.
It's gonna help kind of thin it out. Perfect, looking great.
Very nice, very nice. What's next?
Checking our chicken thighs. So these guys I've been rotating them. I have them back on the skin side down to get them super crispy.
How do you know if they're ready though? Because it's got a dark marinade. How do you really know?
So I like to use a digital thermometer, a Biotherm. Super cheap. Like again, you can order these. You know, there's no heroes in the kitchen. Like, why would you risk it? Use this, and it's the most accurate way to tell. So chicken thighs are very forgiving. You want them at least 165, but even if you go to like 185, they're still going to be good because they have a lot of like intermuscular fat, and they, like I said, they can take to a longer cooking time. But that's perfect where you want it, like that nice 165.
Very nice.
So these guys are looking good.
All right, so chicken's done. The glaze is done. The cabbage is just chilling. We got some rice that's just kind of coming together. But the avocados you start it with, which is kind of going to be, you know, nice little brightness on the plate here.
Yep. So adding some more flavor and texture. You get a nice creamy texture from the avocado and add some brightness. Very simple with this. So this is just some diced avocado. We're going to do salt. Season nice with salt. We're going to do lime juice. Got our trusty microplane back in action once again. I love using citrus zest in my cook at
it's
home.
the only way to do it.
Fresh cilantro. I got some scallions. I sliced them nice and thin. I got the greens and white parts of it.
Okay.
And then that's it. We're gonna mix this together. Perfect.
Nice.
Cool. I think we're ready to go. Chicken's ready to go. We can plate. Rice has been ready. It's hanging out.
Perfect.
So before I do that, I'm gonna glaze these chicken thighs up. You can use a spoon, or if you have a brush, I like to brush it on. Get in there really nice.
Nice.
Get that nice sheen to it. It's gonna be really good. So you got a lot going on. You got the spice from the jerk, sweet and sour from this tamarind glaze. Another home trick, I always like to finish the little proteins, meats with a little flaky sea salt. This rice is looking really nice. So you got our chorizo dirty rice.
Looks beautiful.
Beautiful sofrito in there. Butter braised cabbage. Just a little bit of that on the plate and on the rice. And also, once again, you have all this nice flavor in there. Reduced butter, chicken stock. I just kind of pour some of that right on the rice.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Then we got our chicken thighs. Just like that. And if you're like me, you love the glaze, so I do just a little bit more.
Just that little bit more. It's that little kiss of just that flavor.
Glaze. And then finally the avocado salsa to brighten it up. A little on the chicken, a little on the plate too. And there it is.
Absolutely beautiful. To get all of these dishes on your dinner table tonight, grab Chef Rob's recipe over at our website, dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code to get right to it. And while you're there, if you're making anything from any of our recipes, send us a photo. That's what Mark did. He made the tomato soup from Chef Wesley Roderick and told us, I may never buy tomato soup at the store again. Mark, thank you, my friend. That is so cool. Mark, everyone else that's watching right now, we're about to try another great idea for dinner when we come back, and that's all right ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. Joining me today is Chef Rob Rinesmith from Wild Child in St. Pete. He's been showing us how to make a favorite dish of his and his customers, jerk chicken with chorizo, dirty rice, and a butter braised Savoy cabbage, finished with a beautiful tamarind glaze and this avocado salsa that is just, I'm just dying to dig into. And we made it all in less than half an hour. If you just tuned in, go watch it again on the website, dinnerdeas.com, because this is absolutely one that you're going to want to make tonight. Can we just jump into it right away?
Let's go for it. Jump in.
I'm just itching to go. Where are you going first?
I'm gonna go chicken. A little chicken.
Yeah.
I have a salsa. Maybe a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
There,
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So good. The heat from the jerk paste, and that sweet and sour tamarind glaze, and the ginger and garlic is amazing.
But it's not that hot either. And you can control it, which is great.
Yeah. Like to me, this is great. I could even go a little spicier, but it's like cooking for a family. Someone doesn't like it spicy, just go less. You still get the flavors.
And with the avocado, you've got this nice creaminess that kind of can balance out and kind of cool the palate a little bit, which is nice. All right, I've been intrigued with the cabbage the entire time because I don't really eat cabbage that often. Not gonna lie. But I might now.
Yeah. The excessive amount of butter definitely helps the situation, but it's delicious. Yeah, so it's simple and.
But you know what? Sometimes when you have too much butter, it becomes like just too fatty, and it's just like, okay, I'm good. That doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen here. It's actually like a warm invitation to say, no, eat your cabbage, folks. It really is.
Balance.
All right.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
All right, and then I got to round it out because I'm going for the rice here because we haven't even talked about this one.
Good stuff, right?
The chorizo sausage.
So good.
I mean, that in itself right there.
Yeah, usually because rice is kind of like the neutralizer in a dish like this.
Totally.
Which is great, but to have other flavors going on and a little more action, it just makes the whole dish like really scream, sing.
Dude, it's absolutely incredible. Thanks again to Chef Rob Rinesmith. You can, of course, have this made for you over at his restaurant Wild Child on Central Avenue in St. Pete. A link is at dinnerdeas.com, which is where you can also get his recipe for this divine dinner. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Philbin. See you next time with more Dinner Dias.